Hello everyone, this is Akansh Shuman here, and now we are going to discuss the problem based on the Hartnell governor. We will draw the diagram. As the data is given in the questions. So what is given in the question? First we need to read the question. In a spring loaded Hartnell governor, the radius of rotation of balls are 80 mm and 120 mm. Okay, so the ball arm and the sleeve arm of a bell crank lever are equal in length. Okay, the mass of each ball is given 2 kilogram and the speed at the two extreme position. What is two extreme position? One is 80 mm and the other is 120 mm. So for the two extreme positions, the speed is given, that is 400 rpm and the 420 rpm. We have to calculate the initial compression of the central spring and the spring constant. I already told you about everything about the Hartnell governor. Whatever be the questions comes in the examinations, Hartnell governor, based on the Hartnell governor, you will be able to solve whatever be the data which is asking here in the question. Okay, everything I have discussed in the Hartnell type governor topic. Okay, so we will see. First we need to draw the diagram. It would be easy to understand the questions when you draw the diagram. So there is a two radius of rotations. First I am drawing here randomly bell. This is a ball arm and this is sleeve arm. Okay, so if there is a ball arm, there will be a ball. Okay, and here this is the axis of rotation and this is sleeve. Okay, and there will be a, now see here, we all know that there is a spring which is always in compression. I'm just drawing the rough diagram. Okay, so if there is a spring which is always in compression, that means it will exert a force in the downward directions. So we are considering only half portion of the governor, so that is why spring force will be half and there will be a sleeve mass that will also be half. So fs plus mg by 2. Okay, so we are considering first, that means the radius r1 here. This is radius r1 and r1 is given in the question. R1 is 80 mm, 80 mm, and r2 is given, that is 120 mm, 120 mm. Okay, and the speed is given corresponding to n1 is 400 rpm and corresponding n2 the speed is given, that is 420 rpm. Okay, now see here, there is a r1 radius and somewhere there will be a r2 radius. Okay, this will be a r2 radius and we all know that this angle is theta. So that would be the sleeve moment. We have seen in the derivation of the Hartnell governor that this is also angle theta. Okay, because whatever be the compression in the spring, there will be a sleeve moment. Okay, this is the same as the sleeve moment. So this is a sleeve moment we can calculate. If you want to calculate the sleeve moment, we all know that this is equal to b into r2 minus r1, r2 minus r1 upon a. But what is a and b here? We all know that a is the ball arm and the b is the sleeve arm. But in the question it is given that the ball arm and the sleeve arm of bell crank lever are equal in length. So that means a is equal to b. A is equal to b is given in the question. So that would be cancel out. A sleeve moment would be r2 minus r1. That means 120 minus 80, that would be 40 mm. Why we have calculated the sleeve arm? Let us understand. In the question it is asking about the initial compression. That means first we need to find out the spring constant. Okay, so we all know that f1 multiply a is equal to fs1 plus mg by 2 multiply b. Okay, we all know this. Similarly, f2, this is the centripetal force corresponding to radius r1 and the corresponding to radius r2, that would be f s2 plus mg by 2 multiply b. Okay, we all know A is equal to B, that means it would be cancel out, this would be cancel out. Okay, so we will get the value of, so here in the next page I'm writing here that f1 is equal to, we all know that f1 is equal to mr1 omega 1 square, and f2 is equal to m r2 omega 2 square. Okay, if I subtract equation number 1 and equation number 2, that means if I subtract from if I subtract equation 2 minus equation 1, that what will you get? fs2 minus fs1 upon 2. This would be the equations that we will get when I subtract from equation 2 to equation number 1. We will get f2 minus f1 is equal to fs2 minus fs1 upon 2. Okay, because mg term will be cancelled out, because mg is same in both the cases, so it would be cancelled out. So we all know that f2 minus f1 is nothing but the r2 omega 2 square minus r1 omega 1 square, and that is fs2 minus fs1 means we all know that spring force is equal to kx. This is kx, so I can write here k x2 minus x1 upon 2. We all know what is the sleeve movement. Sleeve movement is the br2 minus r1. This is sleeve movement, and whatever be the sleeve movement is, this is the same movement of the spring. That means that this is equal to the compression in the spring. Okay, so we all know that the compression in the spring is equal to the sleeve movement. So that means x2 minus x1 is equal to sleeve moment, and we have calculated the sleeve moment 40 mm. Okay, so just to put the value in these equations, and we have to put the value of r2 and omega. We all know that omega when is equal to 2 pi n1 upon 60, and omega 2 is equal to 2 pi n2 upon 60. So you just have to calculate the value of omega 1 as well as the omega 2. So it would be 41.88 radian per second. Okay, and this will come out to be, this is the speed, speed is 420 rpm, and that would comes out to be 43.98 radian per second. When you calculate this using calculator, you will get this value. Okay, now we just have to put the value directly. Mass of the ball is 2 kilogram, here 2 kilogram mass, and r2 is 120 mm is given, so we can write it as 0.12 meter, because we are applying the formula for force. Force is equal to mr omega square, and in the mr omega square r is in meter. Okay, and this is 0.12 multiply omega 2 square, that means 43.98 square minus r1 is what, 0.08, that means 80 mm. 41.88 square. Okay, and that is equal to k. What is x2 minus x1? Sleeve moment. Okay, so I can write it as 0.04 upon 2. So when you calculate this, you will get the value of k, that would comes out to be 9.2 newton per 9.2 newton per millimeter. Okay, that would be 9.2 newton per millimeter. Okay, so we have calculated the value of spring constant. Now we can calculate the initial compression. Initial compression means x1, that is equal to fs1 upon k. What is fs1? We all know that here we can see that it is equal to f1 is equal to fs1 plus mg by 2. From here we can calculate the value of fs1. Okay, so I'm just calculating the value of fs1. fs1 is equal to 2f1 2f1 minus mg. That is 2f1 means f1 value is m1 mr1 omega 1 square. Okay, in the question sleeve mass is not given, so we can neglect the sleeve mass. So here I am writing that you must remember this thing, that if sleeve mass is not given, if sleeve mass is not given in the question, you can neglect it. Okay, neglect it. That means m is equal to 0. Okay, so here it would be 0, and the value that you will get, that is 561. 561.25, that is a spring force fs1 newton, and you can calculate the initial compression, that is 561.25 upon 9.2. okay, so this would be the answer. Initial compression in the spring is 61 mm, and we have calculated the spring constant already. In the second part it is asking about the spring constant, we have calculated the spring constant already, that is 9.2 newton per millimeter. I hope you will understand the solution of that question. Okay,